Hello guys and welcome back to another Big Brother review episode, and today we've got a lot to talk about. A lot happened last night in the Big Brother house and a lot is going to happen across the next week, including a shocking triple eviction that leads to a fake eviction and sees one of the three evicted housemates return to the house. Lots and lots of twists to come in our final week in the Big Brother house. Now, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys very, very much for following this series. We're wrapping up very, very shortly. Probably on Saturday is going to be the last video. I'm a Celeb does start on Sunday. I'm probably going to be watching it with my family, so I might be doing some review videos every now and then just to sort of test the waters, see whether people are interested, but I don't know whether I'll commit to doing it every single day, maybe every couple of days. We'll see how it goes. But for now, daily reviews of Big Brother are here to stay. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys for the video right now. So, first things first, I want to talk about the episode as a whole and how it was probably one of the best episodes we've had of Big Brother so far. It was funny, there was dramatic moments, there was just a general vibe of just happiness throughout the house, something that we genuinely haven't seen yet, which is crazy because there's always been someone that's been stirring the pot. We had like Farida and Kerry's drama in week 1, then we had like Hallie and Olivia's drama in week 2, then we had the whole sort of debacle surrounding like Trish and Dylan, and then Trish and Chanelle and Paul and all of that, and the Foul Four. But now that we've got rid of Trish and Chanelle, it seems like the house is in a very harmonious state. It was very interesting to see that the housemates were quite shocked to hear Trish for the win, and then immediately Trish get evicted. That was a genuine shock for everyone at home as well. Like, everyone I watched with, everyone I talked to was shocked to find out that she was going, but obviously probably for the best after what we learned over the weekend. However, we've now got 8 people left in the house, and we don't know how many spots are available in the finale. Most Big Brother series have 6 people in the finale. I still think that's far too many for a finale, because I think a finale should be 3 people and then you get first, second, third, and that's it, rather than 6 people where you're going and the 6th person is 5th person. It's not as engaging, and I think if they'd have just added an extra week, they could have easily got it down to 3 people, and it might not have been as interesting to watch, but they could have kept it alive. They could have done some interesting things, but this last week does feel just a little bit rushed. So it's probably time to talk about January, and a lot happened in this episode. First of all, they started kissing in bed, which was very raunchy indeed. It was very, very, very just... It caught everyone off guard. Like, I wasn't expecting it to happen. And then obviously Jenkin noticed and announced it to the whole room, which kind of embarrassed them, but they kept on doing it. And I've seen a lot of people say that Jordan's using Henry, or that his like that Henry's gonna get hurt by the end of it. But like the highlight show hasn't included all of the conversations about the situation. Henry on the live stream has been very open about the fact that he knows that it might not go anywhere, and he knows that it's just a bit of fun at the moment and they're just enjoying it. And I think people forget that, like, sometimes people just want to kiss each other and have some fun rather than it actually being a serious committed relationship. Like, no one was expecting to go into this house and come out with a relationship. They're just enjoying each other's company and having a good time. Nobody is using anybody, as far as I'm aware, and as far as I've seen. There's been no behavior of that. So I don't know. It does feel weird when I see people saying that Jordan's using Henry because, like, are we watching the same show? Because clearly you're not watching the same show that I am, because that's not happening at all. But anyway, so they started kissing in the hot tub as well, and then they got dared to kiss each other in the hot tub later on, and they did, and it was like full on like gripsing, hands around necks. Oh, it was quite raunchy actually. I was like, oh hello. But yeah, it was a nice sort of surprise for the episode, and it did introduce some nice drama. Everybody gave their own little like opinions on the situation, which was quite funny, but like it was a great situation. I thought it was really, really nice. And then later on, Olivia walked in on the two of them kissing on the bed, and I don't think they'd realised that Yinran and Olivia were in the room at the time, but they just both witnessed them both just sort of like each other, and it was so funny because Olivia, I can't tell you how Olivia's journey in this show has been. Week 1 we hated her, week 2 we loved her, week 3 we hated her, week 4 loved her, week 5 hated her, week 6 back to loving her. And I actually, oh, it's tough because I'm now thinking, who do I want to make my top like 4. My top 4 currently is Yinran, Jordan, Olivia, and Yinran, but then also Jenkin was really funny in this episode, which was crazy. And there's just, I think it was just Trish and Chanelle that was sort of keeping everyone in this sort of like tight knit, just sort of war against, like a war of attrition, and now it's just happiness again, which is so lovely to watch. Well, it's time to talk about the task for the episode, and the gang was woken up by The Boy Does Nothing. I think that's the song by Alicia Dixon. I think that's who it's by as well. I don't know. It's a song that I've heard a total of 3 times in my life, and every time I hear it, I'm like, I know this song. Where is it from? I'm sure it's Alicia Dixon. But they were woken up to that, and then they came out to the main sort of living area, and it was absolutely trashed by a party that Big Brother had thrown the night before, but obviously none of them had been invited to it. So they were then asked to clean up, and then they looked up to like the upstairs, and it was full of like balls, like, you know, ball pit balls. And so opening the doors, and they all came flooding out. This was genuinely like Big Brother's version of Celebrity Cyclone, and I absolutely loved it. I think that they should do this every single season, and I actually could not get over the fact that it was such an entertaining challenge. Olivia was sitting there going, oh, do we have to clean up? Do we have to clean up? Like, is it actually worth it for like a spa day or whatever? And then immediately as the challenge started, she was the one that was like calling the shots. Get on with it. Come on. Literally cracking the whip on them. And I thought that was so funny. There were so many people that were just like, oh, let's just give in and play in the ball pit. And Olivia was like, no. And they did do a good job of clearing up. Jordan was very, very angry that he had hoovered, because he'd hoovered on eviction night, or the day before eviction night. And oh my goodness, it was so funny because the entire floor was trashed again. It was like he hadn't hoovered. And I gotta say, they didn't hoover the floor. The floor was still looking quite messy, but the majority of the rubbish was cleaned up. So I think they did pass that. But it was so funny to see them just running out to the garden, to the hatch, to put all the bouncy balls and the rubbish in. And then at one point they got a sheet. I don't know where they got the sheet from, and they just filled the sheet up with bouncy balls, and it actually went a lot quicker. So you got to admit, it was actually highly entertaining to watch them clean up, and it was something that I definitely wasn't expecting to see on this episode of Big Brother. The second cleaning challenge was taking place in the bathroom, and there was bubbles everywhere. Like, genuinely, it was like a foam party in there, and they were having to like scoop up the foam, take it out to the hatch. I would have just put it in the sink and washed it away. I don't know why they didn't think of doing that, because like they were just having to like put foam into the hatch, and it was just not working. And then halfway through the challenge, the like something switched, and more foam started piling out. So they just cleaned up the room, and then more foam came in. And I was just like, do you know what? I would have actually been so fuming if this was the challenge for me, because that is my just, could not hack it. Because what do you mean I've just cleaned up and now you've made it even worse? And then Jordan was just lying in the tub giving everyone directions, which was very funny. But yeah, that was the middle part of the challenge. And then the final part of the challenge was the llamas. I genuinely wasn't expecting there to be llamas in the back garden, and for there to be just straw and hay everywhere, animal droppings, And then the biggest surprise of them all was Henry mucking in like he was used to it. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then he came up with so many funny lines. One of them was, I'm one of you, I'm a country boy. And then the next one was when he was talking about the animal droppings, and he was like, "Oh, it looks like black truffle. I'd grate this over my pasta if it wasn't shit." This is what I mean by like Henry's such a posh twat, but like he's so funny, and he just comes out with these one-liners that just come out of nowhere, and they just slap you because you're like, "I didn't realize you were funny," and but like he proves it again and again. But it was really really funny to see Jenkin, Olivia, and Jordan petrified by the sight of them, whilst the rest of them mucked in and cleaned up. They were literally by the door, and every time the llamas came near, they would like scream and run away. Oh, it was so funny. This is what I mean by like this was such a genuinely entertaining episode, and I wasn't expecting it because it's been a bit miserable for the last week and a half. The last little bit I want to talk about was the pamper sesh, and of course Jenkin was moaning about the pampering session. He came up with a brilliant la that the brilliant line of the only spa I go to is the one to get my meal deal, and that did make me chuckle. It took me a second to go, huh? And then once it hit me, I was like, oh, that was so funny. That was good from him. And it's just nice that the show is finally highlighting the side of Jenkin that we've been hearing from his friends and families is him, but all we've been seeing is his miserable side. So like I'm glad that they're finally giving us like more entertainment from him. I gotta say I'm very grateful that they're doing that because it is the last week. Anything could change at this moment. The only two people that I don't want to see make it to the finale is Matty and Tom, just because they're boring and I'd rather everyone else stay over them. But then again, Jenkin could go, Noki could go, Jordan and Henry could go. It genuinely does depend who is up for eviction. And I don't know, it's not looking likely for some of our favourites. There were just two kind of interesting, funny moments for this episode. The first one was when Yinrun accidentally collapsed a shelf in the storeroom, and Jenkin just told her, just leave it, just leave it. And then the second one was when they were chanting outside, the girls, the gays, and Tom. And I actually completely forgot that, when they said it, I was like, huh? And then when I actually, did the maths in my head, I was like, oh my goodness, that is so true. It is just the girls, the gays, and Tom, because that's it. It's all done, and that's quite funny. There are now 3 girls left, 5 guys. So, yeah, but the 3 girls are confirmed to have made it at least further in the week than most of the boys. There is apparently face-to-face nominations coming out tonight, and we already know who ends up in the sort of shock eviction situation because they weren't on the live stream last night. But it turns out that the people who received the most nominations from face-to-face nominations will head to a secret room where they will watch the house, and the housemates will think that all 3 of them have been evicted, but in fact throughout the week we'll vote for them and only one person will make it back. The people who are currently in the secret room and at danger of going home are Jenkin, Tom, and Jordan, which Jordan pains me to see there. I gotta say, I think this is our only opportunity to get Tom out before the finale, because otherwise he's coasting through. And I'm just a bit gutted that Matty wasn't in that group, but obviously I don't think Matty's done anything that's cause for nomination. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult because if it was an open vote between all of them, I don't know whether he would survive, but also I think it was an open vote for all of them, vote to evict. I don't think Yinrun would survive because I think people have a vendetta against her that is unwarranted and unfair. But yeah, so that is the twist for this week. I don't know when it's going to play out. We're going to see face-to-face nominations tonight as well as school-based challenge. And I'm assuming there will be a vote that opens tonight and then we'll see an eviction tomorrow and potentially Wednesday, and then obviously the finale on Friday. I'm hoping to get tickets to the finale, although I doubt I will. So you might get some inside goss on Saturday's episode, the final one. You might not. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. The twists that are coming this week look very, very interesting. They look to shake the house up, and I'm excited to see what happens. But other than that, thank you guys very, very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.